Good evening. I'm here today to tell you about my three children. More specifically, this video is going to be about my son and the neglect that he's been receiving. This is Bradley Jr., my son. This is him a little bit older. This is the oldest picture I have of him. Now, he lives in the state of Iowa. I currently live in the state of Florida, only because I just got out of prison for the same charges that my ex-wife is on probation for, which I will explain in another video at a later time. Now, my wife's in the state of Iowa with her current boyfriend, who they have a newborn child with. And there's my son, and then there's another son and daughter that she has from her first husband. In front of me here, I have a child abuse report that I received today, April 5th, 2013. Now, in this report, it says my ex-wife and her boyfriend were fighting, and the boyfriend pushed bottles of perfume off the table, and they hit the children. So, Children's Services decided to investigate. When they questioned my ex, she spoke about how she and her boyfriend were fighting. He knocked off the perfume bottles off the dresser. The baby was on the bed at the time and not harmed. My son Bradley and his older brother walked in the room just after this occurred, and my son picked up the glass and cut his hands. After that occurred, her boyfriend wanted to leave with his son, and my ex-wife's older son had the baby in his arms, and the boyfriend tried to get the child from him. It says he could give the child to him. He did not physically try to take the child, but had raised a fist threatening my ex-wife's older son. After that occurred, my ex-wife called the older kid's grandma to come pick him up to calm things down. During the conversation, my son, Bradley, came walking down with a perfume bottle lid and said, "Baby broke this." He had a couple of small healing cuts on his hand when his worker was there. My ex-wife stated she had prior concerns with her boyfriend's discipline techniques of my son. She stated that she and the older children have heard choking noises at time from my son's room when her boyfriend had been in there. She had not confronted her boyfriend about the issue. She has not seen any bruising on my son. During this visit, while workers were there, my son and the newborn baby, which is almost a year old now, continued to put themselves in dangerous positions and situations. They got into electrical cords and put things in their mouths at least 3 times. One or the other wrapped cords around their necks and had to be gotten out of the situation by mom or one of the other parties present. One child was pulling a cord from the wall that connected to the TV up high. The worker got up to block him to not pull the TV down on himself. During the conversation, it appeared that my my ex-wife, was not the first to react to stop these behaviors. This is a parenting need that will continue to be addressed by the services that she's going through. At 9 a.m., let's see, the worker met with my ex-wife's oldest son at his elementary school. He stated that he is aware that the worker was there to speak with him about my wife's boyfriend, ex-wife's boyfriend. He stated the boyfriend pushed his mom and then pushed all the perfume bottles off the dresser and they broke. And his little brother, my son Bradley, tried to pick them up and cut himself. He and my son were right at the doorway when they were broken. He thought the baby was on the bed at the time. The older child then had the baby in his arms, and the boyfriend wanted the baby from him. His mom said no, and he gave the baby to his mom. Later, they were downstairs at the front door, and the older child had the baby again, and the boyfriend wanted the baby. The boyfriend held up a fist up at the older child, threatening him. He did not hit him. The older child went outside with his little brothers, where they called Papa to come get them. Okay. On 3/14, the worker met with my ex-wife's boyfriend at his work location. He stated he has money issues mostly. He discussed that the older two kids' dad came to his home before a recent arrest and stole their iPad. She was under the something that my ex-wife did not call the police. He spoke about arguing that my ex-wife damaged his truck. She lied about it for a long time. The boyfriend stated that he recently broke perfume bottles in the home and he knocked them down off the dresser when he was angry at my ex-wife. The baby was on the bed, and it repeats what I just said a little bit before. And he admits to holding up his fist that he was angry. Okay. He was upset that when they rented this home, which they rented it over a year ago, actually I would say 2 years ago, my ex-wife was to get a job. She had since not gotten any job nor help with the rent. The worker questioned about drugs and stated my ex-wife was prescribed ADHD medication. He does not feel she needs it, but is up all night. He thinks it just gets her going more. The worker asked about the older daughter's medication. He believes she is on ADHD medication also, but he does not think she is taking it. He does not believe that my ex is taking the medication for herself. He is unsure of illegal drug use.